Swift has always been one to speak her mind, and while this is commendable, it's also landed her in various sticky situations. The songbird is no stranger to Hollywood feuds either, as we all know her massive industry war began with Kanye. Following him, other stars have openly lashed out at the songstress, taking it to everything from social media to blogs. These aren't limited to ex-boyfriends who she's written songs for either. So without further ado, here is Where Are They Now's top 10 list of Taylor Swift feuds that made everyone kinda hate her a little bit. Are there any other celebrities who get into a ton of Hollywood fights that we should report on next? Let us know in the comments down below, and let's jump right in with our 10th spot, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a known fact that Kanye holds the crown for having the best feud ever of all time with Taylor. Like many other older Hollywood tiffs, Kanye and Taylor started at the MTV VMAs. In 2009, being merely 19 at the time, Taylor beat out Beyonce's Single Ladies for Best Female Video. Of course, we all know Kanye didn't agree with the accolade being handed to Taylor instead of his good friend, so he stormed on stage and declared, "I'ma let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." Kanye eventually apologized, and the two went back and forth with insults over it for a couple of years. But things didn't get nearly as nasty until 2016, when Kanye released his track Famous off his The Life of Pablo album. One of the lyrics called Swift out by her name, which infuriated the singer, so much so that she released an album titled Reputation that jabbed at Kanye several times, from the references in her Look What You Made Me Do music video to her imagery of the album seemingly ripping off Kanye's fashion line. But here's where Kim gets involved. At the time, she and Kanye were married, so of course she went to war with anyone who crossed her husband. When Kanye insisted Taylor permitted him to refer to her as a female dog ahead of Famous's release, Kim backed his claims up with a series of Snapchat clips showing Taylor doing the exact opposite of what she denied. Though it shows the country pop star approving of her lyrics, it's unclear what she was agreeing to in the first place, so Taylor was branded a snake in the end and used it to her advantage with Reputation. Before we jump into our number 9 spot, make sure you like today's Where Are They Now if you remember any of these top 10 feuds. But in our 9th spot, it's John Mayer. John was only one of several exes Taylor targeted throughout her musical releases. The news of her and John's relationship crumbling wasn't too shocking back in 2010, since John held the reputation of being a bit of a player. Not to mention, Taylor was only 19 while John was peaking his early 30s, which is in true T-Swift style. The artist dropped Dear John, a song which basically depicted his manipulation of her as a much younger woman and how she regretted their entire ordeal. Oppositely, John didn't believe her public assessment of him was fair. He even informed Rolling Stone at one point, "It really humiliated me at a time when I'd already been dressed down. How would you feel if at the lowest you've ever been, someone kicked you even lower?" In our 8th spot, it's Scooter Braun. Taylor's riff with Scooter Braun was the most significant of her career, as while the majority of her feuds seemed superficial over ruined friendships and random slights, her back and forth with Scooter ran a lot deeper. During the VMA's drama, Scooter was managing Kanye, and Taylor claimed this was Scooter's responsibility for Kanye's attacks on her. In June 2019, Scooter was backed by an investment group to make a controlling stake purchase for Big Machine Records, the label responsible for producing the bulk of her work, and owning the rights to her masters. Taylor struggled and failed to take control of the masters away from the recording company during the early portions of their negotiations. Taylor even informed Tumblr she was unaware of Scooter's purchase until the world found out, finalizing, "All I could think about was the incessant manipulative bullying I've received at his hands for years." The whole case caused a dispute amongst the biggest music industry names, as loads of musicians and producers shared their opinions on the matter. In our 7th spot today, it is Justin Bieber. Reeling from our last point, one of those many big artists to give their input on the matter was Justin Bieber. When Taylor was knee-deep in her huge fight for her tracks with Scooter, she dragged Justin right into the mud. As a part of her lengthy Tumblr post, Taylor directly added the Canadian singer by including him in her beef with Kanye, reminiscing how Justin uploaded a photo of him, Kanye, and Scooter with the caption, "Taylor Swift, what up?" A lot later in his career, Justin seemed to avoid taking apparent sides this time, hoping to remain impartial, probably. He uploaded a post on his Instagram that claimed he had hoped the story wouldn't become a social media spectacle at the time. But moving on to our 6th spot, it's Katy Perry. One One of Taylor's longest running and kind of tiring feuds was that of hers and Katy Perry's. The two, who were considerably friends at the time, went to war over accusations from Taylor that Katy snagged her backup dancers for her concert tour, with Katy arguing otherwise. Taylor's theory eventually played out through her song Bad Blood, which was an apparent diss track and led to another lash out and seemingly response from Katy Perry, her Swish Swish track featuring Nicki Minaj. It was argued that Look What You Made Me Do was also potentially about Katy too, a song which threw shots at other artists Taylor feuded with. In June 2017, Katy stepped forward to claim she wanted amends, but Taylor didn't publicly respond to the interview. Then, in May 2018, Katy sent Taylor a literal olive branch, prompting Taylor to share her appreciation via an Instagram story. Tunes changed and the pair seemed to remain friends at that point, with Katy even posting a pic of a cookie platter to thank Taylor not long afterwards. Moving into our fifth spot, it's Nicki Minaj. The Bad Blood music video was responsible for a lot, including slamming Katy Perry and being nominated for a 2015 VMA award. This didn't seem as problematic as it truly was until we found out Nicki was also upset over her Anaconda music video not being included after being one of the year's most talked about visuals. Not to mention her Feeling Myself video featuring Beyonce also never received a nod. In a tweet, Nicki sarcastically stated, "If your video celebrates women with very slim bodies, you will be nominated for Vid of the Year." Of course, Taylor took this as a slight against her and responded, "I've done nothing but love and support you. It's unlike you to pit women against each other. Maybe one of the men took your slot." The issue only grew bigger when the conversation shifted largely to racism in the music industry. Katy had jumped in at this point too, noting the irony of Taylor trying to apparently side with Nicki when her video for Bad Blood was seemingly meant to take down another woman, herself. Their beef seemed to gradually fade after this, and Nicki and Taylor even embraced during that year's VMAs ceremony. However, 2 years afterwards, Nicki pulled back by featuring herself on a verse of Katy's Swish Swish, an apparent diss track written for Taylor. Moving on to our fourth spot today, it's Jonas and Demi Lovato. Joe was yet another ex-boyfriend Taylor shaded in her songs. Back in 2008, Joe reportedly ended his relationship with Taylor via a 27-second phone call and started up another romantic affair with actress Camilla Bell not long after that. The two exchanged icy comments regarding each other during television interviews, resultantly sharing their feelings through their songs. Joe detailed his experience in Much Better, while Taylor splayed hers through The Last Kiss, Forever and Always, Better Than Revenge, and Holy Ground. So she upped him by 4 there, that's pretty good. The female singer even once told MTV, "If they don't want me to write bad songs about them, they shouldn't do bad things." Then, Demi Lovato got entangled in the mess. Never one to let a good rivalry go to waste, Taylor dragged Demi into her Joe feud. In 2010, Taylor added Demi's then bestie, Selena Gomez, to her Swift squad. Demi supposedly felt singled out, and when a fan once asked her how Selena was doing, Demi famously responded, "Ask Taylor." The world discovered not long after that Demi and Joe were dating, leading to questions of whether Taylor stole Selena from Demi just to get back at the couple. Then 6 years down the road, Kesha was in her heartbreaking lawsuit against her then producer Dr. Luke, and Demi reportedly called Taylor out for not publicly supporting Kesha during her struggle. The next day, Taylor revealed her $250,000 donation to aid Kesha's legal costs, but this wasn't enough in Demi's eyes, who eventually tweeted, quote, "Take something to Capitol Hill or actually speak out about something and then I'll be impressed." End quote. In our third spot today, it's Hailey Bieber. Because of course it is. Justin's wife has always been pretty adamant about her open resentment toward Taylor Swift and her inner circle. Right around the time Taylor's Scooter Masters drama was heating up, Hailey and Justin enjoyed their 4th of July with Taylor's arch enemy. While things remained rather quiet between Hay and Tay before 2019, the rivalry really peaked in 2016, when a video interview showed Hailey blasting Taylor's squad for attempting to hog the spotlight. Hailey claimed she never understood the purpose of the group and further questioned why Taylor needed to carry them around to every event with her. This was a bit shocking given 2 of Hailey's besties, Kendall Jenner and Gigi Hadid, were also members of Taylor's friend group at that time. This led to speculation that Hailey was simply salty that she was not part of the crew. Now looking back, their beef could have been one-sided though, since Taylor never publicly addressed Hailey's claims. Of course, if this is true, it would more so be Hailey hating Taylor than any bad blood shared between the two of them, but hey, who really knows? Given Hailey gagged at the mention of Taylor not long afterwards, we can't really tell. In our second spot, It's Miley Cyrus. Hailey wasn't the only star who couldn't quite understand Taylor's squad. Miley Cyrus was also not here for the exclusive group of girls, and she was extremely clear about her thoughts in a 2015 New York Times feature where she admitted she had zero interest in becoming a Tay Swift squad member. Her August article with the outlet showed she couldn't have cared less about Taylor collecting, quote, musicians, actresses, models, entrepreneurs to be her friends, because Miley was doing her own thing. She was busy. The singer explained, "I'm not trying to be in the squad. None of my friends are famous, and not because of any other reason than I just like real people who are living real lives because I'm inspired by them." This wasn't the only time Miley swiped at Taylor either though. She previously informed the magazine outlet Marie Claire that she found issues with Taylor's Bad Blood music video. Coming up again, I guess. Quote, "I don't get the violence revenge thing. That's supposed to be a good example? I'm a bad role model because I'm running around with my titties out?" In our number one spot today, it's Calvin Harris. Calvin is Taylor's last ex that we'll be getting into today. June 2016 was the year that he and Taylor split, supposedly because Calvin was intimidated by how successful Taylor was, especially in comparison to him. There was also some cheating allegations, but this came about not long after Calvin dropped his collaboration with Rihanna for This Is What We Came For. This song, by far, is the most commercially popular track he's released, penned by himself and a mystery writer. Weeks after their public messy breakup, Taylor seemed happily over Calvin with another one of her since exes, Tom Hiddleston. Calvin was supposedly busy trashing Taylor in reports though, according to TMZ. During an earlier interview alongside Ryan Seacrest, Calvin swore he never even imagined a collaboration with Taylor. And then news leaked of the mysterious mystery writer being Taylor herself under a pseudonym, meaning she was behind his biggest hit the whole time. TMZ reported that Taylor was within every right to halt Calvin from performing the viral hit. However, the word is she never did. It seems Calvin was forced to play his biggest song at every concert while remembering who was truly behind his ever-growing success, Taylor Swift. But hey, that's been today's Where Are They Now? I've been your host, Adam Andrews, and thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.